Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. I know, I'm posting more than once a year, it's crazy. As you have probably seen, or probably not, on the group channel, I was playing the open beta for Sonic CrossWorlds, which was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I did it with some friends. If you haven't, go check it out. It's a pretty alright video. I had issues with audio mixing on it, but it was a fun video to do. Sit down with some friends and fuck around in a Sonic race.
Driving in my car right after a beer. Hey, that bomb is shaped like a deer. DUI, how about you die? I'll go 100 miles an hour.
That is not what we're here to talk about. As you read the title, we got some juicy old drama about Sonic CrossWorlds that I wanted to discuss. A drama that has since kind of faded after the open beta came out. I guess everybody kind of switched up on the game for the most part. So I might be a tad bit late on this, but felt like I would jump in and give my opinion anyway. Now, this video, if it gets any traction, is probably going to cause a little bit of a stir, seeing as Sonic fans tend to be some of the most miserable people on the planet and are just overall very annoying to deal with a lot of their critiques from, you know, all the discourse about Sonic spines. I'm sure everybody loves to think about that bullshit.
Oof. Hey, can I borrow your odorant?
Yeah, I got smelly garbage or old dumpster.
You get low tide?
No.
How about wet dog?
Yep, stink it up.
But I wanted to make this short and sweet and just kind of talk about the price point of the game, because a lot of people took an issue with the price. And I kind of did too. Off the fact of like when I first started with $70, I was like, okay, that's kind of where games are at now, right? And then like seeing the content, how many Sonic characters are actually going to be in it, just a lot of the aspects of the game, it kind of made me go like, ugh, I don't know if that's a good price point for the game. So understandably, a lot of people are upset about it. What's crazy, though, is everybody has been going around and saying that the game is now $90, which is just untrue. So if you don't know, as I mentioned, the game is $70 on launch. However, there is a deluxe version of the game that gives you the DLC, which with the extra $20, that then makes the game a $90 price point, which everybody has been saying that is the official price of the game, which is just... I don't get why we have to use a lied about price point to try and say how the game's overpriced, because 70 already, you can structure an argument off of that. But 90 is just flat out not true, because so many games release like that with a digital deluxe, making the game that expensive. If you don't think they should do that, that's a different story. But to say that the game is $90 when literally the base version of the game is $70, it just seems dumb. So the argument, though, is that $90 is the full package, which is not even the case. The $20 extra is for additional content that you may or may not want, which is why collabs are behind it, to draw in a little bit extra money, pay the people they collabed with, and to overall draw people into the game and maybe want to play more Sonic games afterward. That's how a collab works. To say that you have to pay $90 for the full experience and that 70 isn't its actual price point, it's 90, there are so many games that you could argue that about, but nobody does it with. It's kind of one of these things where sometimes I really feel like people only complain when Sonic does it. It just kind of seems dumb. Again, I am in no way arguing that the game should be $70. I think $70 is still a little bit high, seeing as though I feel like the game could use a little bit more content. I feel like it could use just a few more racers, specifically Sonic ones. But this whole thing of being like, well, the game's 90, and just outright lying just seems ridiculous when you already have a price point you can use that makes your point strong enough. Oh, well, people are going to buy it for the DLC. Okay, that's the point. That doesn't mean that the full experience is $90. It is still a $70 game that you can put $20 extra in if you want more shit. This just feels like such a dumb argument that everyone was peddling for the longest time before the beta dropped. Again, it's just insane, like, just blowing up the price point, like, 70 isn't already kind of crazy. But, 70 is in a more area where you can justify it compared to something like 90. So they're just trying to take the bigger price so they can, have an excuse to hate on Sonic like a lot of people do. Which is even crazier because it tends to be a lot of Sonic fans that do this. Sonic fans are not beating the allegations. I'm telling you. It's not happening. I'm sure at the end of the day, this video is just going to be a big waste of my time because so many people are going to clip certain things I said and then just sit there and call me a bootlicker, and it's going to be fun. But, for the people who actually wanted to pay attention to me and actually listen to my argument instead of try to reduce everything down to me being a bootlicker, I do appreciate that a lot. But I already know I'm going to be getting a lot of those. Oh, he's bootlicking for Sega, which I'm just going to say go fuck yourself. I think 70 is still a bit much for how much they offer. I feel like if they offered a bit more, it could be more justifiable, but 70 is definitely a bit much. But to sit there and say it's 90 for optional DLC, for an optional edition that every game's done forever, kind of seems... It's not even kinda, it just is stupid. Like, you could just use the actual price point of the base game. But no, we gotta say it's 90, and then we gotta sit there and justify it being like, oh, well, people are gonna buy the DLC. Like, that's not the point of a company to do, to have something that you want to buy. No, they're gonna buy the DLC. That's one of the marketing points, so therefore it's 90. The actual marketing point is the fact that they have all the Sonic characters, the racing, the extreme gear, the customization, the stages, the rivals dialogue. Like, there's so much stuff that they've used for marketing points, more than just collabs. And a good portion of the ones that they've been using for marketing are the ones that are going to be free with the game's purchase. So all these other DLC ones are just separate. And it's like, what do you want them to do? Just not market the DLC? I mean, that's really all I got. There's not really much to talk about this drama, honestly. It's just kind of the same point being regurgitated. I can't really say much. There's other CrossWorlds drama that's happened, and there's definitely some things that I do not want to talk about because it would just, it's its own can of worms, I'll put it like that. But before I go, I decided, since I'm going to be doing a CrossWorlds video, I would kind of throw this part at the end for the people who decided to stick around. Just kind of talking about the game and how I felt about the open beta. I'm going to be honest, when I first booted up the beta in the first Let's Play I did on the Bards and Bastards channel, I felt just kind of like underwhelmed. Like, it was fun, I was enjoying my time, especially with friends, but I was just kind of sitting there like, this is what I'm getting for $70. It just, nothing was really like hitting. But then when I played it that second time, having the Joker Festival and like the team racing, oh my goodness, it just felt so much better. There's a lot of things I do enjoy about the game, and I put these sentiments in the survey that Sega put out there for Sonic CrossWorlds, just kind of talking about what I liked and whatnot. But I'll also kind of mention it here. I felt the game was really smooth. I really liked a lot of the tracks. They were really fun, nice. There's a decent character selection. It's not terrible. Definitely a little bit better than Team Sonic Racing, but I mean, that's not really that hard to beat. But I do, even like what I said in the first Let's Play as well, I do think we could have had a few more Sonic characters just to kind of round out the roster, because it is kind of crazy that half the roster is going to be taken up by collab characters. And I do also echo the sentiment of the fact that I think Sonic Prime should not have been our first TV show to get into a Sonic game. I think there's a few other TV shows that more warranted it, and also have more original characters that I think a lot of people would grow to like. And what I echoed in the second Let's Play we did when the Joker Festival came out, I think they should make that a permanent mode. I really do think the team racing is what's going to give them an edge over Mario Kart, even though they already kind of have a lot of them. I think, but in general, I do think it'll give them the edge, and they should definitely make it a permanent mode. I also feel like they should keep the festivals going, have them themed around, different characters and whatnot, and have different gimmicks for each festival, so it gives people a reason to want to sit down and play them. And also, obviously, that reward system's going to be a lot too, because it gives you some nice little trinkets that are like, they're not much, but it's something for playing the mode, so it's going to obviously engage a lot of people. Criticism-wise, I'm going to pair it what most people have been saying. The DLC characters like SpongeBob or Patrick or Joker or Ichiban not getting voices is fucking wild. Especially for characters like SpongeBob, who are literally known for not shutting the fuck up. It's insane. I'm glad that at least Hatsune Miku is getting a fucking voice, because that would be insane, the music artist character not getting a voice. So at least there's something. And I don't know if they're too late in, but I really do want them to get the characters' voices. It's insane that they're not. And I don't blame this on the development team. From what I can gather, they want to. It's just Sonic Team themselves doesn't want to, even though it's literally a $70 price point for the game, and then an additional $20. Again, it's not a deal breaker for me. It's not gonna fucking like ruin it, but it is kind of insane that we're gonna be paying $70 for the game and then $20 for DLC, and the free update characters as well as the DLC characters are not gonna have voices. That's actually fucking wild. Like, you want to charge a AAA price, but not even incorporate something basic as voices. That's fucking crazy. Oh, Werehog Sonic's another crazy one. It's like you couldn't get voice lines from the game or have Roger Craig Smith do his own take on the Werehog. Like, what the fuck? But anyway, that'll about wrap it up. Thank you all for watching. If you actually watched all the way to the end, I promise you I'm not a Sega bootlicker. There's actually a lot of things about Sonic that I have, maybe not publicly, but I have disliked and complained about. As I showed off in the last video, I do have some more projects on the way that I will be working on as the days go on. I'm trying to obviously post more consistently. I just have a lot of projects I'm managing, and as I slowly get them trickled out, it'll be less and less, and I can start focusing more and more on some bigger projects that I may or may not have teased. Once the demo for Sonic CrossWorlds comes out, I'll be sure to play that on my channel since it's going to be a single player thing. So I'll try that out, and hopefully this time I'll actually fucking, fix the audio problem. Because that pisses me off on how loud that was. It fucking drowned out mostly everything. So fucking annoying. And as you've seen, I'm going to be posting on the Bards and Bastards more. If you haven't seen them yet, I got 2 Let's Plays already up for the open beta of Sonic CrossWorlds. So if you could and have the time, I would appreciate those being checked out. Kind of pushing the channel more, since I do actually plan to post with it more. And we've also done some changes with the members. I plan to do at some point in a little update video just kind of talking about who we have in the group. We've really only added 2 new members. Everybody else is the same from when I made it the Black Knights, if you all remember that shit. But anyway, that's about it. If this makes waves, then I am prepared for the bootlicker comments, and maybe that'll lead to another channel video. But until then, I have other projects I plan to set my sights on so I can get them finished. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a project to work on. And that project's going to be dealing with a lot of propaganda.